What's up? Welcome back. It's your girl Mary and Candus.
Yes, listeners, welcome back. Welcome back.
How you doing today, Candus?
I'm doing all right. Y'all was telling Mary earlier because per our trying to, do better this year in 2021. I've been going to the gym with the trainer, and I think she overworked me, y'all. I can barely use my arms. I feel like a little T-Rex. Like I can't extend my arms. So the whole day, I literally been doing this, like everything, like a daggone T-Rex. So, but I'm all right. Other than that, I'm good. How about you?
I am good,
That's it. We're not going to add nothing else to it. That's it. Okay. I know in Hawaii, y'all over there, y'all on a whole nother planet in terms of y'all lockdown procedures. So
it's about to go in effect on the 13th. You have to be vaccinated or show your vaccination card or show results, negative results within 72 hours to go to like any food places, restaurants, any businesses. Like they ain't playing no more. The only thing it won't affect is like essential places like the grocery store and the doctor's office, of course. But anywhere else, even the bars and the restaurants, they got to stop serving alcohol after 10 p.m. The clubs are shut down right now. Even the mayor was like, please don't come visit Hawaii.
Yes. Meanwhile, Candus is over here in Florida where everything is possible. Everything is possible.
Y'all don't even care over there.
COVID, what? Girl, that's how they acted. I'm like, oh, okay. All right, then. Man. I see how we do. But yeah, but other than that, everything's good.
Everything's good.
That's good. Well, I think we're just going to make this a quick one for y'all. Something I think is important that we should touch on is, man, so since we started this podcast, we've been really blessed with a lot of opportunities to be in the presence of people who have accomplished a lot, whether it's through our guests who have been on the show or people behind the scenes that we've had the opportunity to meet. And, it kind of puts you in a certain mindset of sometimes it could be intimidating, right? When you get in a certain room and you're not the smartest person in the room, you're not the most experienced, you're not the most knowledgeable, but at the same time, you're happy to have that opportunity to get that experience. But it's also a little nerve wracking because you feel sometimes you could feel a little less than yourself when you're in those situations, and sometimes we react differently. So you have some people who take that moment and as a defense mechanism, their ego kind of elevates, and it gets to a point where you try to, the saying, fake it till you make it, right? And I know that can be applied in so many ways, but sometimes that can actually hurt you. It may not be as beneficial because if you're in that room where, like I said, you have people who are smarter, who are more experienced, who can teach you things. If you're so busy trying to fake it to show them that you belong in that room, instead of taking in what they're telling you or trying to learn different things and asking questions and taking it out in that all that knowledge, you can miss out on the opportunity to grow, to learn, to change, to get better. It's almost
Come
like
on, Candus, preach.
if you go into that situation a little bit more humble, I think it allows you to kind of gain perspective on where you can elevate and how you can take that next step in whatever field it is that you want to. And I think that's been very important for us. Like I said, we've just had some awesome opportunities with some of the, I guess it's been women, right?
Yeah, it has.
It's been women. So I don't have to keep saying people. Yes, women, we out here doing it. The ladies, the ones that, that we've been having the opportunity to interact with. And so I guess just trying to send some motivation to you guys and encouragement to take hold of certain opportunities and not look at it in a negative way when you get in the room. Like I said, where change can happen, where change can occur, where you can grow, where there's opportunities for you to expand, whether it's your business or whatever you have going on. And make sure you don't get caught up in trying to put on a certain persona just to sell the people, to make them think that you know more than what you know. It's like, you don't have to lack that confidence in that kind of way. And, and respond in a negative way, because like I said, in that case, people could look at you and say, hey, oh, she got it figured out, so I don't need to spread my wisdom to her. I mean, could you imagine right now having the opportunity to be in a room with Oprah and you trying to act like, oh, Oprah, I know all the answers. You ain't got to tell me nothing. No, Oprah, I don't know nothing. Go
Your
ahead.
blessing has just flew over you because you were not trying to receive.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So it's almost like it's a balance of having confidence, but trying to find ways to kind of keep your ego in check, and make sure your self-esteem is not dropping based upon like comparing yourself to other people. Like, just know who you are, and what you're good at and what you're bad at and where you can grow. And then, like I said, if you just focus on that and just be more confident in who you are and what you bring to this world, it allows you to keep that open.
Okay. I mean, I think it just goes back to one of our episodes when we talked about fear. Like, because I think that ties into the whole ego thing, because pretty much ego is like a disguise that you put on so you can appear like you're more knowledgeable than others, like you were saying, and being someone you're not, instead of being someone you're not, rather than someone you think people want you to be, instead of just being yourself. So like one episode when we talked about fear, we're just like taking chances, getting out our own way, and not focusing on whether or not our ego is going to get hurt, because that's part of growth. Our ego will be hurt at times, but that's also humbling yourself and accepting the humility, because we can't grow without that.
Exactly. And I was going to ask you personally, like your experience when you went to DC, and if you don't mind sharing that a little bit more. But I mean, because you had some awesome opportunities, and to be around people who could really create change, and I could understand that could probably was intimidating in some kind of way. Did you feel any pressure to try to portray yourself in a different light, or did you or were you not as confident when you were in those rooms, or just how did you feel? What was your experience like?
Honestly, all of the above. I was very much intimidated. I felt the pressure to look apart. I mean, to be like the other, and I felt like I didn't know as much. I wasn't as knowledgeable as the ladies, the women that I was in a room with as they spoke. And instead of trying to be like them, honestly, I just shut down. I got quiet. I didn't say anything. It wasn't until one of the defense fellows came to me and was saying, like, you don't got to be quiet. Why are you so quiet? Why you haven't, spoke up? Like, just be you. You know what you bring to the table. Even the women that I work with, they even said, like, you got this. And I'm just like, but y'all don't know. How do y'all know that I got this? Like, I'm fairly new. That's all they kept saying. You got this. Oh, the next meeting, you're taking control. Nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm gonna just sit back. I told him, I was like, I like to just sit back and observe and listen and take everything in. And then it wasn't until the meeting, when he was representing for here in Hawaii, where the executive director, she was on the phone and she couldn't take the meeting, so I had to step in, and it just clicked on. And before you know it, I was running the meeting and I was getting everything out, and I was just like, oh dang, I guess I do know this stuff,
Right. and that's awesome. So that was a situation you kind of did both, in terms of the humility was initial, even though it was a little bit of lack of confidence also, but there was some humbleness in the beginning of, no, y'all take the time. I don't, I'm just here. I'm here. I know what's going on. I understand, but I don't feel as confident as you guys do with this. But then when you realize, because of everything that you took in and everything you opened yourself up to in that moment, to receive all the information and to tell them, hey, I want to hear what you guys have to say so I can learn from this. You went on to do a good job in the meeting that you took, because you were able to, to experience that. Whereas, if you came up in there not really feeling like not being open to what was going on, or not really being open to the other women sharing, their experiences and stuff like that. Once you got thrown into that meeting by yourself, it may have been a little bit more, intense for you, because it'd have been a one-on-one, and you wouldn't have been able to rely on that fake persona that you put up there. You know what I'm saying? It would have been, but because you came in there humble, learn what you needed to, when the time came, you were able to shine.
That is correct. I was.
Yes. Good job.
So it's crazy when you look back at certain situations and how you can just see like what we're talking about right now, the ego and everything, and how many times have we gone through situations like that? Can you think of one
where
either you tried to fake the funk, or you just sat back and just let humility take its course?
I don't choose to be humble. So I
rebuke that in the name.
Right. No, I'm just joking. I'm trying to think of a time.
Oh, no, she didn't. Oh, I got it. Actually, don't tell me a time. You remember on one of the previous episodes, you talked about the phone call you received in regards to your degree.
Mm-hmm.
Was your ego shattered when you heard that conversation?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Because I think when it comes to your ego, that's more about how other people see you, right? Mm-hmm. Like your concern for how other people see you. So if somebody on the outside is calling me and making that comment about what am I doing with my degree, or what was the point of me getting the degree at the time, because I wasn't working. It was at that point, because then I become more concerned about, well, what do you see when you look at me? What, if you see that, what does everybody else see? So what do y'all really think of me? So then it was kind of like almost a moment of, oh my, like I got caught with my pants down or something. You know what I mean? Like everybody, I just imagined that everybody was looking at me in that kind of way. And so that's where I allowed my ego to be crushed in that sense. But see, what that kind of showed me was that as much as I thought I was a confident person, I really wasn't, because if you asked me, I would tell you, oh yeah, I'm confident. Like I'm not depressed. I don't be stressing over this, that, and the other, because I look at it as being so extreme. But I'm like, if somebody can easily come in and say one thing that throws me off my balance like that, I'm not confident in myself. I'm not confident in who I am. I don't know who I am enough to say, okay, like, and feel fine with whatever my response is. But no, if I knew once that phone call happened, when I got off the phone, it was still something that bothered me enough to where I'm sitting there like, what do I need to be doing? Like, obviously I'm not doing enough. I need to, like, even though at that time I had a lot of things that I was working on, but because certain people weren't seeing, they weren't seeing those things or whatever, I immediately relied on what they thought about me instead of what I knew about myself. And so that was like an ego versus confidence type thing, in my opinion, where I was just, like, but now we learn more, we do better. And that's something I can reflect on and truly say, like, you know what? No, as I really become secure, that's the word I should use. Not just confident, but secure in who I am. You can't push me like that. You can't just, like I said, you can't throw me off balance as much. And I'm not perfect now, and I'm not as secure as I could be, but it's going to take a lot more than it did then, because I think at that point in my life, people don't realize that it's so easy to have insecurities in different places, and especially being a mom, right? Because I can have moments where I'm insecure as a parent about how I'm doing, if I'm doing everything right. And then for the longest, it was trying to get my career back on track, with obviously being a military spouse and stuff like that, and moving around. And I'm like, so there's insecurities from that perspective, because I have friends who are, very successful. And although they're positive and very encouraging, and stuff like that, it's still kind of like a dag. Well, I graduated with y'all, like I should be along with y'all. You want to compare. Right. And so there was just a lot of insecurities that at the time I didn't look at them like that, But it's just when you actually sit back and have the opportunity to reflect on yourself and where you're at, I think that's when I started realizing, like, okay, Candace, you need to get back to loving who you are and knowing what your purpose is on this earth, so you're not dwelling on what other people think about you. And yeah.
And I think that's a big part of like our egos and always putting on masks to portray somebody else, because more times than not we're hiding from those insecurities, and instead of just accepting it and dealing with it and trying to learn to grow through it, we just put on this mask and just like, everything's fine. Oh, I know this too. Oh, I know this more than you, and it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't. I think that if we have an open mind, which is easier said than done, but if we learn to have an open mind with things, it'll make dealing with our ego, dealing with our self-esteem, dealing with confidence, it'll make it easier, and it'll help us grow even more. Like, some of our blessings are hidden in our frustrations that we deal with on a daily basis. And that's because our frustrations focus us to grow and develop. And instead of dealing with them frustrations, we put that mask on. My ego is bigger than yours, So that's just something to keep in mind.
Yeah. And I think the open-mindedness that you're also talking about in terms of like, not just the open-mindedness in regards to the people we interact with, that we can learn from, that we can grow from, when you put that ego aside and become more humble, I feel like that's needed. Like, as that's what we do in society, is come together to make each other better. I mean, whether it's your parents, teachers, coaches, whoever, friends, the whole point is to help each other with, fulfill our purpose as a unit. And I think that's, it kind of brings balance when we're doing that together. So if you're so closed-minded that you feel like you're too good to, excuse me, receive advice, from somebody who has accomplished some of the things that you're trying to accomplish, then, I mean, you really, you're not helping yourself. Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, so since we all need each other to, fulfill our purpose and stuff like that, the people who you interact with in your life, it's just important to stay humble and make sure, you use those experiences and those opportunities to learn and grow every time, and not be so overly confident you feel like you don't need anyone, because then you can really lose out on some great wisdom that can help you in the future.
Yes. And like Candace said, we're all here to learn and grow from each other, to support each other. And on that note, we're going to go ahead and get into this affirmation.
Yes, I am enough.
I have the power to create the life I desire.
I am worthy of my dreams.
I am worthy of my dreams. All right, y'all. So go out there and be great. Don't let that ego get the best of you.
And remember, shine, sis. You got this.
You got this, girl.